Today we're diving into the high-stakes world of UK economics, asking the burning question, is economic policymaking in the UK truly politicized? From the Bank of England's twist in interest rates to society's struggle with skyrocketing inflation, we're uncovering the drama behind the data and dissecting how it affects your daily life. In navigating the intricate realm of the United Kingdom's economic policies, a pressing query emerges. Has economic policymaking in the UK become politicized? This pivotal question echoes against the backdrop of recent economic turbulences, punctuated by the Bank of England's abrupt cessation of interest rate hikes and the consequential slowdown in inflation. Amidst these developments, the UK finds itself at a crossroads, grappling not only with the economic quandaries but also with the societal repercussions of mounting living costs, diminishing disposable incomes, and an incessant wave of strikes. The relentless surge in inflation, soaring to a staggering 13.6% over the past year, has intricately intertwined with record-high housing expenses, heaping insurmountable pressure on the average British household. As the nation contends with these economic tremors, the decision to maintain interest rates amplifies uncertainties, portending substantial implications for consumers, particularly in the realm of mortgages. The Bank of England's recent pivotal decision to halt its string of interest rate increases marks a significant departure from its prior trajectory of successive hikes. This pause arrives amidst a sequence of 14 consecutive rate hikes aiming to curb rampant inflation, which has surged to an alarming 13.6% over the past year. However, this abrupt cessation seeks to address a surprising deceleration in the nation's inflationary momentum. The pause, announced by the Monetary Policy Committee, stands in stark contrast to prior efforts aimed at taming galloping inflation, a mission undertaken to alleviate the UK's increasingly beleaguered economy. This decision emerges against the backdrop of societal unrest, epitomized by a flurry of strikes persisting since the previous year, primarily fueled by a cost of living crisis gripping the nation. The announcement further amplifies uncertainties, particularly concerning the viability of this pause in relation to curbing inflation and its broader implications for consumer confidence, lending rates, and the overall economic trajectory of the United Kingdom. The surge in inflation, catapulting to a staggering 13.6% in the past year, forms the crux of a burgeoning economic challenge confronting households across the United Kingdom. This substantial uptick in inflation rates has cascading effects, rendering the cost of living crisis alarmingly palpable. The resultant strain is acutely felt by households grappling with diminishing disposable incomes and the relentless surge in essential expenses. Amidst this economic upheaval, housing costs have skyrocketed to unprecedented heights, exerting profound pressure on the average British household. The confluence of soaring rents and inflated property prices compounds the predicament, significantly impinging on individuals' financial stability. For many, the soaring cost of housing transmutes into an insurmountable obstacle, imperiling their ability to secure or retain accommodation. This upheaval intensifies the struggle for individuals on the lower spectrum of income, sparking concerns about housing affordability and exacerbating the already stark socioeconomic disparities. Moreover, the rampant inflation has substantially eroded the purchasing power of wages, undermining households' ability to cover basic needs and eroding their financial resilience. The ramifications of inflated housing costs reverberate beyond immediate financial strain, seeping into the broader socioeconomic fabric. Families contend with the arduous choice between allocating a substantial portion of their income towards housing or compromising on other essential expenditures, thereby amplifying the socioeconomic vulnerability of numerous households. As inflation surges unabated and housing costs continue their upward trajectory, the specter of financial instability looms large, underscoring the pressing need for comprehensive measures to address these intertwining challenges and alleviate the burden on households across the UK. The recent adjustments in the UK government's climate policies, spearheaded by Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, have unveiled a nuanced narrative of attempts to balance environmental imperatives with socio-economic realities. These policy shifts represent a strategic response to mitigate pressures stemming from the cost of living crisis while navigating the intricate terrain of climate goals. One such pivotal adjustment encompasses the alteration in net zero targets, emblematic of the government's efforts to assuage immediate household burdens. However, this move has elicited divergent reactions, with critics raising concerns about the nation's commitment to robust climate action. The adjustments, including delaying the ban on petrol cars and altering subsidies, serve as a manifestation of a delicate juggling act, aiming to assuage immediate economic strains without compromising the broader environmental agenda. The government's recalibration in climate policies has triggered debates within and beyond industries. While some hail these changes as pragmatic adjustments essential to navigate current economic challenges, others caution against diluting long-term climate objectives. Notably, these shifts have prompted mixed reactions from stakeholders, sparking sparking debates on the effectiveness and sustainability of such adjustments. The complexity inherent in climate policy adjustments underscores the intricate interplay between economic exigencies and environmental imperatives. Balancing short-term economic relief with long-term sustainability goals remains a formidable challenge, amplifying the need for comprehensive strategies that reconcile immediate societal needs with enduring environmental ambitions. As the government grapples with these policy adjustments, the task ahead entails striking a delicate equilibrium between economic resilience and steadfast commitment to environmental stewardship. The Bank of England's recent decision to maintain interest rates amid the current economic landscape has sparked intense debate among experts and economists. The underlying factors influencing this pivotal decision have triggered varied viewpoints, offering nuanced insights into a future trajectory of the UK's monetary policy. Experts, including Kai Neufeld from the Centre for Economic and Business Research, shed light on the intricacies shaping the Bank of England's stance. The decision, albeit narrow, to keep interest rates steady stands as a delicate response to the multifaceted challenges facing the nation. Factors such as the rise in unemployment and recent signs of moderation in core inflation figures have been pivotal in tipping the scales towards maintaining the status quo in interest rates. Moreover, Neufeld's perspective underscores the fine balance the Bank of England seeks between acknowledging emerging economic slack, as reflected in rising unemployment, and the encouraging moderation in key inflation indicators. This delicate equilibrium underscores the institution's strategy to navigate a complex economic landscape marked by inflationary pressures and simmering economic uncertainties. However, while the decision signals a temporary respite in the sequence of rate hikes, it also invites speculation about the future trajectory of monetary policy. The debate lingers on whether this pause marks a conclusive halt in rate hikes or merely a temporary reprieve. Economists remain vigilant, examining evolving economic indicators to discern potential trends that could shape the Bank of England's future decisions and their implications for the UK's economic trajectory. The recent shifts in the UK's government's climate policies, particularly in adjusting net zero targets and altering key mandates, have rippled through society, sparking multifaceted implications across various sectors and societal strata. One facet of these shifts rests in the dynamics within industries. While some sectors view these changes as a necessary respite amid economic turbulence, others raise concerns about potential setbacks in the country's commitment to long-term environmental goals. Industries reliant on green technologies, such as wind energy, confront uncertainties, with shifts in policies potentially hampering investments and the pace of innovation. As these policy shifts unfold, their implications resonate across industries, households, and the broader national discourse on climate action. The delicate balancing act between economic imperatives and environmental sustainability underscores the intricate nature of policymaking in charting a course toward a more sustainable future. Former Prime Minister Liz Truss's brief tenure left a lasting imprint on the UK's economic landscape, inviting evaluations and reflections on her economic policies and their repercussions. Truss entered office amidst a backdrop of economic challenges, advocating for measures aimed at addressing the nation's low-growth predicament. Her policies aimed at fostering a more business-friendly environment, emphasizing tax cuts and reduced spending to stimulate growth. However, the implementation of these policies encountered criticism due to perceived inadequacies in considering the prevailing economic environment. Critics argue that Truss's economic initiatives lacked a comprehensive plan and cost assessment, failing to address fundamental issues within financial markets and currency stability. The absence of a concrete strategy on how these policies would be financed contributed to volatility within the financial markets, reflecting poorly on the UK's economic outlook. In hindsight, Truss's economic actions reveal a fundamental need for a nuanced and holistic approach that aligns policy initiatives with the broader economic context. The evaluation of her tenure emphasizes the imperative for comprehensive, well-calibrated economic strategies that factor in prevailing economic conditions and instill confidence in financial markets for sustained stability and growth. In conclusion, the United Kingdom finds itself at a critical juncture where economic policymaking has become intricately entwined with socio-economic realities and environmental imperatives. The recent decision by the Bank of England to pause interest rate hikes amid soaring inflation, coupled with shifts in climate policies, reflects the delicate balancing act the nation faces in navigating economic stability and environmental sustainability. As the nation grapples with these complexities, it becomes increasingly crucial to strike a harmonious balance between immediate economic relief and the long-term pursuit of sustainable practices. The impact of policy decisions, whether in monetary measures or climate initiatives, reverberates across industries, households, and broader societal spheres, underscoring the need for comprehensive, inclusive, and foresighted policymaking. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis, expert insights, and up-to-date coverage of economic trends shaping the nation's future. Join us in decoding the intricacies of economic policymaking and its profound impact on your life and the nation's economic trajectory.